Hey guys, welcome to today's video. I'm Will Gerling, sports and performance nutritionist, and today we're talking about the top 5 mistakes that you may be doing and causing yourself to lose out on some important gains. Number 1, saving yourself for the post-ride binge. So many times do we go out on our ride or our run and we're like, I'm not going to have anything before, I'm not going to eat anything on the bike, I'm not going to have anything at that coffee stop, I'm going to wait until I get home. You probably bonk in your session, you find it a lot harder than you need to, you get home, you're famished, you get in, you chuck your stuff to the side and then you open that fridge and boom, suddenly it's empty. Now, there's a lot of calories you can consume in that small window, and I can tell you it can be easily over 1,000 calories. Now, training like that and doing things like that is 2 potential factors of 1, it's not great habits, it does promote binge eating, and that's a very bad relationship to have with food. And secondly, it's not getting you the most out of your session. It's important that we're training ourselves to fuel for the session and making sure that we're getting the most out of it. The purpose of that session is either to be out there enjoying the weather, enjoying the ride, enjoying the run, or you're trying to get fitter, stronger and better for an event or just what you enjoy doing. And the last thing you want to be doing is saving yourself, holding yourself back and then waiting to binge on a bunch of food when you get back. Which leads nicely on to point 2, which is fuel for the work required. This is a slogan I use all the time. I've coined it, it's mine, I'm telling you. And that is to make sure that we're always fueling for the things that we're doing. If you're doing high intensity efforts, if you're doing a long 4-hour ride with 10-minute sweet spot efforts, you need to make sure you are fueling yourself for that session so you can do it to the best of your ability. And that really does lead on nicely from that first point. We need to be making sure that we're having enough to get through that session and to do it to the best of our ability. Now, if you're not sure what you should be doing, it might be worthwhile maybe heading over to my website, link is in the description below, and maybe dropping me a message and asking me if there's any things you're struggling with yourself or what you're fueling. But nonetheless, fuel for the work required. This is even if you're dieting as well. Point 3, my favorite. This is such a good topic. Point 3 is about keto, fat adaptation, fasted training. I did a video on this just the other day, but honestly, if you're a new rider, because there's lots of new riders out there, then you need to be fueling for those sessions. Don't go out fasted. Don't be trying to do keto. Just eat and enjoy those rides. Consistency is the biggest factor in you improving at riding your bike. And going out there, bonking, making it harder than it needs to be, doesn't need to be there. Even as a beginner rider or an intermediate rider, I don't think you need to be doing fasted training either. I think just keep going out there, keep riding, and doing what you need to do. If you want to be keto, fine, that is your choice. I don't think it's the right choice for cycling or for running unless you know your event is staying at a sub-maximal level. But most places have hills, have hard sections where you need to work really hard, and ketosis is not going to do that for you. Mistake 4. Mistake 4 is having high-fat food on the bike. People heading out with their peanut butter sandwiches in their back pocket or all their energy bars that are covered and coated in chocolate or filled with nuts. It's surprising the amount of energy bars out there that are high in fat. And there's quite a few brands that I know of where you're going to have about 10 to 15 grams of fat per bar for around 30 to 40 grams of carbs. Now, if you're heading out for a 3 to 4 hour ride, you can quite comfortably have 2 of those an hour. Now, that's going to be pretty much your whole day's intake of fat in one ride, meaning there's no fat needed really elsewhere in your day, or your quota is filled. which means any other fat you have, which you definitely will, even if it's incidental, will be taking you over what you need and over probably your calories for the day. The biggest factor about this is that high-fat foods are not even going to support your performance. Fat will not help you perform, ride, run any quicker than carbohydrates. If anything, it is going to be of detriment because fat, as it's digested, is slowed down from being released in the stomach through an area called the duodenum and will slow digestion. And we know fat does slow down digestion. So, do you want to be having that in your bars? Do you want to be having most of your day's fat intake in your ride, in your run, and then also slowing down the digestion and then making the very purpose of the food you're having less optimal or ideal? What I really recommend here is sticking just to carbohydrate-based foods. Carbohydrate diets have never been, or carbohydrate-based trials have never been outperformed in research, especially compared to keto, and carbohydrate is what you want to help you keep going, not fat. It may override if you have one thing that is high in fat, would be fine. If it's to do with palate fatigue, if you want something different. But ultimately, carbohydrates are king and make the difference. And lastly, mistake number 5. You're heading out for your rides and your runs all the time as dictated by yourself or your coach following a program, and you're practicing for race day. But the amount of people that don't practice their race day nutrition is mad, and you need to practice that. I've done it in another video, so check that out, but practice your race day. Maybe what would be a really good idea is drop a comment down below. Let me know if you'd love me to do a video on race day nutrition, how you can set up your race day, and what is the best thing for you to do. And there we have it. That is my top 5 list of mistakes for any endurance athlete or individual out there. I hope you really enjoyed my video today, guys. These are my top 5 mistakes, and some of them might be things that you're doing, but don't fret. You can always make those changes and the tips and the advice that I've given you, and check out the other videos that I've got to help you make those changes. I do appreciate your support, so keep subscribing, keep tuning in, and I hope to see you guys soon. Bye.